All right, peace and blessings to everybody out there. Welcome back to the Fake Woke Podcast. This is your boy BobbyVILN. I'm back with another video. This is a video on the lockdown on Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell's house being vandalized. A lot has been happening these past 2 days. So we're going to get, not even the past 2 days, I would say like 2-3 weeks, basically when, holiday season approached right after the election. I thought it was very, not eerie, but very weird that we ended up shutting down right after the election. Once on Thanksgiving, and then right before Thanksgiving, right before Christmas, we ended up shutting down, going on lockdown again for the umpteenth time. Like the lockdown is actually going to work. But let's get right into it. Very strange. Very strange that they keep mentioning building America back up, hinting to the phrase, what's the phrase? Build back better. The build back better phrase, especially with this whole COVID thing. Basically, they're aligning all of their dominoes to place Biden on that pedestal, make him look like a savior, so to speak. I've already said this before. That's the whole reason of the lockdown. That's the whole reason of the third relief package. That's the whole reason of the $600 that they shorted us on. That led to Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell's houses being vandalized due to the fact that a few citizens actually understood what was going on with the whole negotiations. They understood that Nancy Pelosi and her people weren't necessarily looking out for the American people due to the fact that they added a whole bunch of foreign aid spending, bullshit about streaming, trying to make streaming a felony, restriction on steroids for horses, like a bunch of shit that had nothing to do with COVID. Even Donald Trump brought that up and said the relief bill has zero to do with COVID. So why are you labeling it a COVID relief bill? Mitch McConnell goes on the books and says that we'll have to add an additional $550 billion in order to put the stimulus payout from $600 to $2,000. Why not do it, Mitch McConnell? Why are you trying to penny pinch so badly? That's my whole that's my question to you. Why are you trying to penny pinch? Well, you got these people out here losing their houses, getting ready to get kicked out. Like it didn't register. It don't make sense. And the reason why it don't register and it don't make sense is because both of these entities are working together to fuck over the people. If you didn't want to put an extra $550 billion into the bill, why do you have foreign aid in there? What do you need foreign aid for right now? Why do we need to pay out to these foreign countries? Why do we need to give Pakistan, I forgot how much money for gender studies or some fuck shit like that? It don't make any sense. It don't make no sense at all. Why are we doing this? Why is this money going to Egypt? Why is this money going to Israel? Why is this money not going to the American people? That's my question. Why are we, like I said before, why are we building museums that we're not even going to use at this point in time due to the fact that we're locked down? It has no no logical sense behind it. Continue to ask yourself these questions. Why have global billionaires, the 1%, why have their net worths increased 27% during the whole lockdown? Ask yourselves those questions. That question right there by itself should be alarming. That question by itself should be alarming. This whole lockdown, like I said before, is to eliminate the middle class. They want the middle class gone. The middle class is going to be gone. Pay attention to the global reserve currency too, and how the global reserve currency has been backed by the American dollar. Now, central bankers are trying to bring in a new system of digital currency, hence why Bitcoin shot up. Now they're trying to bring in the allure of cryptocurrency so the U.S. can have their own cryptocurrency, which is the USD. They're trying to build back better. Nothing's going back to normal. It's going to be a new normal like they've been saying. It's going to be a new normal. They got you fighting these invisible enemies. They gave you an invisible enemy around, 2001? We was fighting terrorism, right? We was fighting Osama bin Laden. We was fighting Saddam Hussein. We were fighting these invisible enemies around that time, and it's the same thing right now. They had to give you an invisible enemy, and they had to give us a common enemy. And that common enemy is the Rona. That is our invisible enemy. That's my personal opinion on it. They gave us a visible enemy to fight, and it so happened to be a healthcare crisis. The healthcare crisis, it doesn't make sense, especially with the success rate, the survival rate being so high. Why are we still on lockdowns? What was the purpose of a lockdown? The purpose of this lockdown is to, like they said before, to build back better. They're using a health crisis to switch up the whole dynamic of this country. That's what's going on right now. They used the same tactic in 2001 with 9/11. They used the same tactic. They said the terrorists came from where? Afghanistan, or not even Afghanistan, like Iraq or some shit like that. It was one of those countries. The terrorist attack came from one country, but we ended up invading a whole different country. It made no sense. Weapons of mass destruction, you never found weapons of mass destruction. And for all the people out there that don't believe that your government will lie to you, this corporation will lie to you, you in for another, that'll be a whole nother video for a whole nother time. I've actually touched on that. Every government lied to the people. Every government. Communist, socialist, doesn't matter. They will lie to the people in order to, keep the people at bay, to keep control over the people. That's what's to keep the sheep in line, to herd the sheep into one spot for the slaughter. That's how I personally feel about it. And to see that Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell's houses has been vandalized. Again, it shows me that not everybody is a sheep. Not everybody's following the herd. There's people out there that's thinking for themselves. There's people out there that's still thinking for themselves. Now, do I think it's going to cause an uprising? Do I think a lot of people are going to follow suit and get on the same wavelength? No, more than likely not, no. Because you got people that don't want to see the rules, or they don't want to see what's going on with the circus. And you got a lot of people that just willingly wants to participate in the circus, and that's exactly what this is. It's a circus. This shit it's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. They use divide and conquer, a masterclass of divide and conquer, especially with this white versus black shit, this men versus women shit, white versus black. That's fucking trivial. That's fucking trivial. Now I could go on to say how white people are being completely bamboozled, thinking that they're the so-called superior race and all this other bullshit. I could even go on and say that they're actually genetically recessive beings, but that's another story for another time. What needs to happen is white and black people need to understand who their common enemy is, and that's the corporation. The corporation is allowing immigrants to come in here and to take over economically. And no, this is no racial prejudice or anything towards immigrants. Immigrants is getting it how they live. I respect it, especially Asians. We just need to follow suit. We need to make this shit work for us. We need to think about this shit economically. We need to learn how to work with each other, work amongst each other, and understand who our common enemy is, which is the elitists, which is the corporation. We need to stop allowing these people to divide us, men versus women, black versus white, so forth and so on. You aren't wearing your mask. Those people too, the snitches out there, we need to understand that it's no more, we shouldn't be divided no more. We should not be fighting against these invisible enemies. We should be paying attention to the real enemy, and that's the elitists. That's the people that just want to make the rich rich. And a lot of people are talking about, well, that was Trump. No, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. Go back and pay attention to how the media's common enemy was just one man. Not Republicans, not the whole group, but just one man. Republican leadership, they didn't even like Trump because Trump was not a Republican. He's not a Republican. Their common enemy was a person that never been in politics before. Their common enemy was the person that wanted to drain the swamp. And he said several times that he wanted to drain the swamp. Now, for the people that don't understand that, it's perfectly fine. Later on down the line, you'll understand. But the invisible enemy, you shouldn't be fighting an invisible enemy. You should be fighting the corporations. You should be fighting the elitists. But not a lot of us is going to understand that. We're still stuck on the whole Rona shit. We're still stuck on we need to be vaccinated. They pulling the wool over our eyes and we're not even paying attention to it. But besides that, thank you for tapping into the Fake Woke Podcast. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share this video, my last videos. Make sure you just get the message on out there for me, please. And thank you. I truly appreciate everybody that tapped in. Again, along with my boy Ed, along with my boy Deron. It's sad that, I had to reconnect with people through death. But besides that, long live those two. I hope both of them rest well. I'm out.